Recording. Alright, hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mindset Mondays for Musicians. I'm your host Lucas, and today we're going to tackle a topic that's often very misunderstood, and that is why talent doesn't exist. This might come as a surprise to some of you, but stick with me because this could be a game changer in how you view your musical journey. And let's start with a quote from my teacher that stuck with me throughout my entire career. There is no such a thing as a talent. If anything, it's just a work on talent. At first, I didn't quite get it. Like everyone else, I thought that being great at something required a natural born gift. But the more I've learned and experienced, the more I see the truth in these words. The idea of talent can be incredibly discouraging, especially for beginners. You see someone playing effortlessly and think, I'll never be that good because I don't have their talent. But this mindset can be a huge barrier to your progress. What if I told you that those musicians you admire weren't born with a magical ability? Instead, they put in countless hours of hard work and dedication to get where they are now. So let's break this down. What we often call talent is really the result of consistent practice and deep commitment to improvement. Sure, some people might pick up some certain skills faster than the others, but the real determining factor in achieving excellence is how much effort you're willing to put in. It's about showing up day after day after day, even when it's tough, and continually pushing your limits. Think about some of the greatest musicians in history. Take, for example, Jimi Hendrix. People often refer to him as a guitar genius, but what they don't always talk about is the sheer amount of time he spent with his instrument. Hendrix was known to practice for hours on end, constantly honing his craft, and his so-called talent was really the product of relentless work and never-ending passion for music. Or consider someone like Mozart. He's often seen as a child prodigy, but what many overlook is the environment he grew up in. Mozart was immersed in music from a very young age, with a father who was a composer and music teacher. He started training early and practiced intensely throughout his life. His achievements weren't just a result of some kind of talent, they were the accumulation of years and years of disciplined practice and exposure to music. So what does this mean for you? It means that instead of focusing on whether or not you have talent, you should be focusing on how hard you're willing to work. The good news is that hard work is something you can control. You can decide to put in the time and the effort needed to improve. And over months and years of consistent effort, your playing will absolutely transform. That's why the first point is consistency over intensity. It's not about having marathon practice sessions once in a while. It's about practicing consistently, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. Because over time, these consistent efforts will lead to a significant progress. So set realistic goals, track your improvement, and celebrate the small victories along the way. Next, embrace the learning process. Every mistake is a lesson. Every time you hit the wrong note, you're learning. It's easy to get frustrated and think you're not cut out for this. But those mistakes are crucial. They're teaching you what doesn't work and pushing you to find what actually does. The difference between novice and a pro is how they handle mistakes. Pros use them as a stepping stones to improvement. That's that. And speaking of pros, let's talk about role models versus comparisons. It's great to have role models to look up to musicians who inspire you, but don't fall into the trap of comparison. Remember, you're seeing their highlight reel, not the countless hours they spend practicing alone. Use their success as motivation, not a measure of your own worth. That's why the next important point is work ethic over natural ability. This ties back to what my teacher always said. If you look at any successful musician, you'll find a relentless work ethic behind their success and achievements. It's not about being naturally gifted, it's about putting in the hours. So if you're willing to work hard, you can achieve things that might seem impossible right now. And to illustrate this, think about the greats like Jimi Hendrix, Eddie Van Halen. Do you think they just pick up a guitar one day and started shredding? No way. They practice until their fingers hurted. They obsess over every note, every technique. Their so-called talent was forged in the fires of hard work and dedication. So let's now bring it back to you. What does this mean for your journey? It means that every time you sit down to practice, you're building your talent. Every struggle, every moment of doubt is a step forward. Embrace the grind and pair it with the right mindset, and you've got the winning formula. Simply as believing that you can improve through effort is essential. Otherwise, you'd be just spinning your wheels, going in a circle if you don't believe you can improve. This growth mindset, as it's often called, empowers you to embrace learning and persistence. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, try thinking, I can't do this yet. Or even better, I'm working on it daily so I can do it. That little change of how you speak to yourself makes all of the difference. It opens the door to possibility and keeps you motivated to keep trying. And in order to keep yourself on the right track and motivated, make sure to surround yourself with a supportive community. Simply as being around other musicians that share your dedication can be incredibly motivating. That's why with modern guitar course, you're getting access to hundreds and hundreds like-minded guitar players that pushes each other to be the best they can be. So whether it is local jam sessions, online forums or music classes, find your tribe and support each other's growth. And to sum today's video up, talent is a myth. What truly matters is your dedication, consistency and willingness to work hard. The hours you put in will always win over anyone who relies solely on their so-called talent but doesn't put in nearly as much effort as you do. That's why you got to remind yourself that every great musician you admire got to where they are through persistent effort and a passion for their craft. And if you take one thing away from today's video, let it be this. You have the power to create your own talent. It's not about waiting for some magical ability to manifest. It's about taking control of your journey, putting in the time and believing that you can improve. Because whether you think you can or can't, you're always right. So thank you for tuning into this episode of Mindset Mondays for Musicians. If you find this video helpful, please let me know by hitting the like button, and by subscribing, you would really make my day. And I would just love you for the support you're giving me. So thank you so much for doing that if you want to. Thank you so much for being here. Keep practicing, stay on track, and I'll see you in the next video.